All right. Come on, guys. There's Jason. Jason, what is up, man?
Hey there, man.
I'm doing well.
We don't need B-roll. Let's don't talk.
That's right. No talking. Hey, you calling in a plane or what?
Who?
You look like you're air traffic controller.
I've been using this the last couple weeks.
I know. I like it.
Yeah.
This is working good.
We both trimmed our beards too.
I know. I was getting scraggly.
Me too.
It's hard to trim without my left arm, though.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Problem,
yeah, at least you're lefty. This isn't gonna make my three best or whatever, but I just looking up that confit or whatever. That stuff's funny.
Yeah, that was funny. I almost put it down because I just thought Twitter was great with that. I was like, oh, that's fantastic. I almost had Twitter down as one, but I cut it.
Yeah. My favorite is that one from that movie we keep talking about with Amy Adams.
Oh yeah. Arrival.
Yeah, Arrival when she's throwing that side up.
Speaking of Arrival, here's B.
There's Arrival. You guys are here on my screen.
Morning, it's morning. It's time to rise and shine. Is that how the song goes?
Yeah, it's something, something, something. Hope you're feeling fine. I can't remember what the in-between line is, though. But
when I wake up, I always hear the Harry Nilsson song where he's like, gotta get up, gotta da. Do you guys know that song? It's all about getting up and like you have a busy day. I love Harry Nilsson.
Sounds like a good one.
90% of the time I have that song stuck in my I have it when I'm waking up. Gotta get up. How about you guys? I need one more thing.
What song do you most have stuck in your head?
Probably that one. It's every morning.
Probably that one. Every
morning.
I
don't have anything like that. That's daily.
You don't have a like. What comes up the most? Do you think?
I'm trying to think. There was a song that was stuck in my head this weekend. I can't remember what it was now. Oh, I have "One Day More" from Les Mis stuck in my head because I kept coming into like. Each of my kids had like their last day of school, but it was always a different day. So it was like
one day more.
I would just march around the house. One day more.
I think mine's probably the song from Scrooge right at the end. But right now I can't even think of it because now I'm thinking of One Day More.
Scrooged or Scrooge?
Scrooged.
Yeah, when it's like oh, how does it go?
You know what I'm talking about? And
yeah.
No, you from the back. You from the back.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, it's that love.
Hold on, let me get you out of it.
Somebody needs to look it up, I think.
B legitimately just took off her headphones so she could think about it.
Did you get it?
No, I gotta look it up.
Oh.
No. I can't think of it, but it pops into my head so much. But right now it's running from my memory.
Yeah.
A song.
Okay, this is maybe the worst.
Put a little love in your heart.
Put a little love
in your heart.
And the world will be a better place. And the world.
That one
I don't know why that song sticks in. What?
That one runs through your brain all the time.
Yeah, also a lot more often probably than every other song.
Wow, that's crazy to me.
Because you're thinking about like the love of the world and stuff.
Maybe.
That explains why you're a more pleasant person to be around.
In the world.
And I gotta get we're all terrible people out of my head.
That's your problem.
You found the dilemma.
The other one we sing a lot around here is "Be Patient." You know that "Be patient, be patient, don't be in such a hurry." There's like a stupid song about turtles and stuff. I don't know.
That's a good one. That's a really.
But it was like that's usually what we say when we're waiting for mom.
I've never even heard of that one.
All right, who starts this thing? Because B's on a time crunch. We got
B starts it.
Oh my god!
B gives us the intro, so this is gonna be a solid goal intro.
I have to be like 6 blocks away at 9, but I guess it's okay if I'm a little late. I don't know.
Is it a meeting?
That'll be fine.
Yeah, we have like a all staff, so it's children's and youth meeting together at Randy's house, and my boss lives like a couple blocks away. So anyway,
perfect.
I like that Randy guy.
Thursdays, man. And I've got other
stuff. We'll get rolling. B's gonna do the solid gold intro. Jason gets to pick, right?
Yes, woo!
So I go second.
I still need to think of the third thing.
I go first.
Oh, you go first.
I go first.
I intro. Greg goes first. Then I'm second. Then Jason.
Then Jason's last, and then he picks at the end.
Bada bing, bada boom.
That's sweet money action right there. That's good. That's gonna work well.
Am I gonna forget anything? So it's this week in gratitude.
That is correct.
And then introduce us. Subscribe. Tell your friends.
There you go.
Can you just use that?
No.
Hi, you've made it. You don't stop.
Don't made it. You made it.
You've made it.
I like that. That's good. You have made it.
No.
You're listening to our podcast. You have made it.
Okay.
You've arrived.
You've made it. This was the ultimate goal of your whole life.
Everything's been building to this moment.
Everything's prelude.
People.
Who
knows? People from all around Bolivia may come.
I found it. Okay. You are listening to This Week in Gratitude. We are three pastor friends who get together and talk about what we're grateful for. I am Bianca. I live in Seattle, do youth ministry. There's a Jason out in Muskegon, Michigan. He does ministry. And then Greg in San Antonio, Texas, and he does college ministry. So welcome. Hope you like this episode. If you do, then make sure to subscribe and tell your friends how much you enjoy this episode and us. And we'd really appreciate it.
Nice.
That's it.
That's it. You nailed it. Thanks for if you love this stuff, pass it around. That's the only way people will find out about it. So right now I think we're doing okay numbers wise from what I can tell.
Even after the big changeover?
Even after the big changeover, I think we have a little bit of an uptick on the changeover. I was afraid we were going to lose a bunch of people. I think the first week we lost some people, but then I think we got them all back and then a little bit more. So
okay, good.
We're doing okay, but keep telling people. I did get a fun text based on one of our previous pods that was from Dan McCarthy that just said, "Balls is life."
Oh, it's so fun.
So I like those kind of texts. Those are fun. Shout out to Dan McCarthy. Thanks for listening.
He's referring to the application.
Yeah, balls with a Z. Balls with a Z.
Yeah, it's a game on your phone.
It's a game on your phone. Do not start playing it unless you want to just wait a month.
Word option in this podcast.
I get to go first, right? So
yes.
Bada bing.
I've got one. The last couple of weeks, not strong by me. I'll admit that. I listened to some of the previous ones. Not my best work, but this week I feel like I'm gonna come hard. So first thing is we talk around this one a lot, and but I think it's important to just sort of name it out loud. But I think one of the things I'm grateful for is the work that we get to do.
Oh yeah.
I think all three of us as pastors live in a unique spot where we're dependent on God to show up and do amazing things in people's lives. And so living in that kind of dependency is tricky sometimes. And then I think also beyond that we also are dependent on God's people figuring out ways to support and care for us. And living in that kind of dependency can be really tough too. So anyway, this week I've been really grateful. We had a budget meeting and we've had some other meetings and just kind of brainstorming and talking to some old students and things like that. And it struck me again how grateful I am and how thankful I am for the ability to do the work that I love to do and work that we feel like really matters. And then just the kind of the absurdity that people pay us to do it. Like, sorry, B laughed at that one. Like, don't say that out loud. No, but it's like there are elements where you just look at your job and you're like, man, people pay me to be involved in their lives and to speak Jesus over them and then to sit with them and laugh and to eat together and to pray together and to cry together. And those are like these amazing moments in people's lives that we get a chance to be part of. And then on top of it is how we make our living, which is just a crazy, weird kind of thing. But anyway, this week I'm particularly thankful for that. So
it's good. I think I learned that lesson the most when I was doing chaplain work. And at first I'm like, who am I? You know, they don't care if I'm like there and able to listen to their story while they're in the hospital or whatnot. They're, you know, some of them don't want you to stay or whatever. But then I realized, like, with our title, with our title comes a lot of weight. I mean, we are their representatives sometimes of like the church. And so we do actually have a lot of authority in going in, and we may not put it on ourselves, but it's automatic with our titles. And, you know, saying I'm the chaplain or the reverend or whatever, you know, it doesn't, it's just a word or whatever, but it has a lot of weight to our, when we enter into a room or, you know, into a situation of distress.
I'll skip to the end of this podcast. This is definitely going to make you are coming strong.
I just want to win.
It almost makes it probably every week, and if it doesn't, it should probably. You know, like I think it's awesome. It's a really good one to start. Because last night we serve once a month at Supper House, and I had that same realization. I get paid, and we fed 135 homeless people. You know, like that's just, I don't know. I get to do it with my son. You know, it was after school, and my son was learning about the American Revolution from this homeless man, the Revolutionary War or whatever. And as they were just talking, because I was serving the food and Zeke was running like tables and stuff like that, and I just got the snapshot through the window that we're serving the food through. He's learning about the Revolutionary War, and right at the end of it, I was just super impressed with my son. He said, "Thank you, sir. Thank you for teaching me some stuff." And he just went back to running around. It was just like, yeah, I get paid to do that. That's pretty crazy. But it also makes me, every time I tell this joke whenever this idea comes up in front of, like, you don't pay me to be a pastor. You pay me to go to Meijer, the supermarket. Because George Carlin says he you don't pay me to be a comedian. You pay me to go on airlines. You know, like like anyway,
to do the other stuff, right?
Yeah, to do all this stuff. Anywho, but that's a good one.
Well, that leads into my first one, which last night was our last Wednesday youth group of the year, and we go out with a bang. Gosh. Last Wednesday, the kids filmed music videos in front of a green screen. And then I edited them, put some pictures in the background. And then, so last night was our last one. We watched them all. We all get dressed up and we make them little awards. It's Academy Awards. And so we spray painted these Izzy bottles gold, and those are their awards, and they can drink them in the night. Some of them have kept their awards for the 3 years they're here. And so we watched the videos. The volunteers made a video, and it's always like a big hit. And then we spend a little bit of the time saying goodbye to the 8th graders. So since I wasn't emceeing, which I have every year, this year I have 2 interns, so they got to be the MC. So then I got to do the charge for the 8th graders. Otherwise, that's just too much me up front. So I usually give that to someone else, but I was able to do it last night. And I've had these 8th graders for 3 years and have so many memories with them. And I'm really excited for them to go to the high school group, but I know a lot of them are pretty scared to go. And it was just an awesome night. We always end the night early, so we have a huge dance party, and there's a conga line. And my volunteers are pretty crazy, and so, you know, by the end there's like kids on the tables messing with the spotlight and stuff. And so Limelight is always fun, and we try to make it fun, but this one in particular I felt was quite meaningful. When we had our popcorn prayer time, a lot of the 6th and 7th graders were praying for the 8th graders, and that was really cool. And so yeah, it was meant to be our, you know, culminating event, and it totally succeeded in that. Like, you know, we're happy to be together, but sometimes there are changes, and we go with the Lord. And a lot of the blessing I gave them was, you know, this joy and this hospitality and this light that you bring to our youth ministry. It's always with you, even when you're in the high school group, even when you're in school. even when you're with your family, that God will be with you no matter where you are. You don't have to be at the Rock, is what we call our middle school ministry. You don't have to be at the Rock to feel God's presence. And so it's just a reminder for the 8th graders, obviously, but everyone, including myself, you don't have to be here to be like, oh, I'm leading this ministry, therefore I need to be closer to God. It's like, well, it's everywhere. It's your life. And we're lucky enough that those two coincide. My life is tied up in the ministry, tied up in who I am and in God and in the bigger story. So anyway, I was going to say that anyway. And then Greg totally, he threw it over and I hit it out of the park.
Nice work, me. Nice work. That does bring up Jason's joke, though, about going to the grocery store. Because it is kind of like when you think about I don't know, we have these weird jobs where you don't really keep hours, right?
Yeah.
Like, I try to, whenever we have new staff, I'm always trying to explain this, like that your whole life is your job now and vice versa, but not in a kind of restrictive, obnoxious, oppressive way. But like the only other way I can think to say it is like, I don't know other jobs you could get fired for things you do when you're not at work.
Yeah.
Like you're not at work like only when you're in the office, right? Like if you, if you get a drunk driving ticket or if you get whatever, I mean, like this, like there's things that are going to affect your job that you can't.
Yeah.
And so, but I love that you get to end the year that way. That's such a cool way to do that, and it's
And I inherited that. I didn't come up with that when I got here. They'd have been doing it for years, but I made it better.
It's still like a really nice, like,
a
really nice rite of passage, right? Like we talk about that all the time with teenagers and stuff, and that we don't have.
You usually bring this up right around now, anyway, right around the end of college stuff. You usually, Greg, bring this up. It's just so. That's one cool thing about the student life. There's these natural bookends. There's these natural points where you stop, look back, take in what you've learned, and move into a next chapter. That's neat. I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also why I'm so tired today. And I have this meeting. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Praise ye the Lord.
Maybe if you spent less time dancing, Bianca, then
hallelujah. I know.
Holier
I'd be like,
less
everyone go home. I have a meeting tomorrow morning. I need a plan for it.
You guys could probably fill in what I'm going to say right now. What do you think I'm going to say right now?
Oh, you too on Jimmy Kimmel.
No. No, this is when I do the monologue. This is so hard because there's like 20 things.
Yeah. All right. I thought we already skipped that. I skipped it.
You can edit that. You can edit that in if you want, Greg. Just because I'll skip over that.
Skip ahead to that. Yeah.
Once again, it's true. There's a lot of stuff that happened this week, and I think I'm going to do number one. There's a PBS TV show. It's got 3 parts, and then there's like a session. It's called American Epic. I highly recommend it. It's really, really good. It's about the roots of music and musical genres in America, and it's really, they do a fantastic job of covering the country and seeing where all these different little all the roots of rock and roll, basically, like the blues. They go to the Western United States and they look into the Hopi Indians, the Native Americans. They look into, I didn't know that the steel guitar came from Hawaii, like the slide guitar. I didn't know that until this. But the only reason I found out about it is somebody posted, there's clips of the coming episode, which is coming this next week. It's called American Epic Sessions. And Jack White has set up this studio, probably in Nashville. I don't know where, because he lives there, but it's just a single microphone and it recreates like all the early recordings, and that he's bringing it back. And the reason I found out about it, because Alabama Shakes showed up and that's the thing that somebody posted it or linked it to my the YouTube to my Facebook. And so then I looked into it, and then I picked up on the train, and there's 3 episodes of American Epic, and 2 and 3 just happened, and then now they're about to be American Epic Sessions.
That's like
Wicked.
exactly in your
Maybe
wheelhouse.
it's maybe it's
Oh,
just
that sounds awesome.
Yeah, but there's just the tales, the stories behind. I particularly love the blues, but so these blues musicians just gnarly cool stories. There's like this Mississippi John Hurt guy, and
I've heard of this guy.
yeah, he in Avalon, Mississippi, and then he records things in 28 and 29. Like he records like 10 songs from this recorder that came down from New York, and then he goes back to sharecropping and doing this stuff until the Newport film folk thing happens in the 60s, and it's crazy because they go and find him, and he's like 70 or 80 years old now, and they bring him to this Newport folk music festival, and they're interviewing him, and you can hear Dylan in the background singing Mr. Tambourine Man, and this 80-year-old blues musician talking about, I didn't know anybody knew me. Like he just disappeared back into Mississippi. It was just a crazy, crazy cool story. Anyway, and it sounds like that thing he recorded in 1928, it could come out today. Like he was a super talented guitarist and just an amazing gravelly, bluesy voice writing about neat stuff.
That's awesome.
So American Epic.
American Epic.
American
on PBS.
Epic on PBS.
All right. Hey, while we're talking about music and your recommendations, I listened to the Americana album that you recommended a couple weeks ago. It was terrible.
Oh no!
You're driving me crazy.
I can't help. I want to get into your stuff, man. I really do. Like I try it, and it's like, man, it just stunk. It was
Oh no!
the worst Americana I've ever heard by like a British guy. It's like, what are you doing, man? Like, it just sounded terrible. I don't know. I don't know. I'm sorry. I was out on that one.
I still love you.
I love you too. That's the only reason I listened to it in the first place.
Yeah. That's a true testament to love. But you keep trying. I keep trying,
but that one was tough, man. That one was tough. All right.
Since this doesn't fit in my top 3 or whatever like that, do you have a pop? If you have a pop artist, who is your pop artist?
Who I like
right now? Yeah.
Pop?
Oh, well, do you like
now?
the Taylor Swift, the Justin Bieber?
I like Taylor Swift.
I don't mind Taylor Swift. I like Ryan Adams. He probably doesn't count as pop.
No. Ryan Adams.
The most pop I'll go is Ryan Adams.
Taylor Swift. I get your
connection.
I kind of found that connection. Anyway, it didn't make my top 3, but Lord's the only one that I like.
Oh yeah, I can see that.
I don't like Taylor Swift. I don't know. She's the only one that I dig. Anywho, everybody can have Bieber and
Bleachers.
You like a bunch of them though, Jason. You like Ed Sheeran.
No, I know. Bieber's like every once in a while I like a tune of his, but I don't really dig it. Anyway.
Oh, we had 2 Bieber songs last night. The kids love the Bieber.
They're Beliebers.
Yeah, Beliebers.
All right, before this gets out of hand, I'm going to jump into my next one. My next one is I have a story, and then I'll explain what I think is the cool thing in it. So I used to work at a church called Reconciliation. When you guys knew me, that's where I worked, and I had like my office in the back building, and it was like loaded with books and stuff. And like over the last 6 years, I've slowly taken all my books out of that office, but like very slowly. Like, so anyway.
Is that legal?
I guess. I don't know.
You can keep books there?
They did. They didn't bother me too much about it. So on Memorial Day, nobody was there. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go just finish unloading. So I went and unloaded the rest of my books. So they're all out of there now. But then what happened is like I started looking through books that I had a long time ago. And so this one of the huge advantages of actual books over like electronic books is that you maintain memories in certain ways. And so I got looking, and one of the ones I found, which I was pretty excited about, was an old devotional I used in high school, and during my last couple of years of high school. But what was funny about it, and I didn't realize it until I got it, was Phil Majorans gave me that. So it was like this. It was this cool like. It was just this really interesting, like, quick snapshot into like my high school time with my best friend, and like rolling through that and reading what he wrote, and like he had kind of like highlighted quotes throughout the book or whatever, and it was one of those. So my shout out here is actually to just friendship and like really old friends that we've had for a long time. and kind of the fun ways those come back around in our lives. And I don't know, it was just really cool. And I was so shout out to Phil Majorans. I'm excited for where our friendship is now, but even more so what God was doing in Phil in high school and how he used Phil to impact and shape sort of my life too. So anyway, that's my number 2. Friendship. Bianca's
It's
like
a busy
making faces at
morning.
somebody at the door. I don't know.
It's a really busy morning. I loved your gratitude, though, Greg. I was totally listening.
Thank you, Bianca. Jason
You
was
found the book.
distracted by yours.
I wrote book from bestie.
There you go. Summed it right up.
Majorans. That's a good
Like
one.
the alliterations. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go.
I like
ahead,
the way
Greg.
old friends know you. You know,
Yeah.
they know you in a way that you like to be known. I think that actually is. I think that came up last week when the new David Bazan stuff. That was what was behind that. Yeah, my buddy Bill. Keep going. Let's go. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you
Okay.
off. You want to keep this rolling, this train rolling.
Bianca didn't want to talk about mine. That's fine. I get it.
No, I said I appreciate it. That's all I got. I don't want any more follow up.
Bianca
Not
doesn't
that
have
I don't trust you. I just don't think you're a very honest person.
Okay, mine is also a 3-part story, but the last part is the thing I'm grateful for. So
You should tell it in a Memento. Have you seen that movie?
Yeah.
Memento?
I'll
Start
tell
it in
it
your
backward.
Tell it to us in reverse.
That movie's
No,
amazing. by the way.
so this weekend I watched Big Little Lies, which is not my favorite. I mean, it's not my gratitude. It was okay, not for everyone. But then the soundtrack's so good. There's so many good
HBO
songs.
show.
It's an HBO show.
I
So
watched
many good songs. So I went to Spotify and someone had kindly made a playlist, a Spotify playlist of all the songs on this show. And then the main credit song is one of my favorites. And I was like, who sang the main song? It's so good. And it's someone that I've already know that I really like, and he's just killing it. He has so many good songs, and his name is Michael, and I can't ever pronounce his last name, but it's Kiwanuka. Have y'all heard of him? I know Jason has. Yeah, because we talked about him.
Yeah, he made our list like a year ago.
Oh, really?
Or something.
Really?
Yeah.
His last name is spelled
Yeah.
Kiwanuka.
Yeah, I would have said I'd never heard of him before. So.
Oh
okay.
man, at the time, have you listened to him now?
I know the song you're talking about, but I would have said I didn't know who he was.
Yeah, and I already knew I liked some of his music, but it was one of those like perfect moments where it was like, I don't know, when you're looking up a song, you're like, wait, I already know that I like this person. I must really, really like this band. So I suggest other people listen to his stuff. I obviously haven't listened to all of it, but the theme song's really good. And then he has one called Home or Coming Home or Home or something.
Yeah.
And that's the one that got me into him maybe a year ago. And so I just really like his music. And I suggest that other people listen to what he's got going on. It's hard to describe. I mean, it's like kind of bluesy, but
he's like kind of Otis Redding. He has
really good voice. His voice is really good.
Yeah, when you hear it, you don't know when it was recorded. That's the, like it's he's got that kind of, he's got that feel of like, oh, this could have been really old or
and even his album cover art and stuff, it's like you really have to look at what year it was made, because you're like, why did you go with like a 70s theme like cover art? You're trying to trick me, aren't you? So yeah, he's recent, modern, really cool. I love what he's doing. I don't know much about him.
Yes, but your favorite is actually like the moment that moment of epiphany when you realize you already knew it.
No, it's actually his actual music.
The moment of epiphany where you already knew it. That's fantastic.
But the moment I was trying to connect with you guys.
You guys ever read Chesterton's Orthodoxy?
That's so funny. I was just thinking about that this morning. Yeah.
So in the introduction to Orthodoxy, Chesterton talks about being like this traveler who tries to find the rest of the world and accidentally stumbles upon his own country. And and if you assume that would be disappointing, then you've totally misunderstood what it's like to rediscover home or something like that. So it's kind of that's what you described with the music too, I think.
Yes.
The cool
and Home, full circle, because he has a song called Home.
Wow.
Wow.
And thinking back, I don't think it has made the list, but it should have. That's a really good one, B. because
Yeah, I think
I think Greg would have made me spell it.
Yeah, I would have.
And I remember spelling it out. But I remember because that he always brings me back because I borrowed his CD from the library in San Marino, so it was at least a year and a half ago, maybe 2 years ago.
Yeah, it's not.
It was towards the summer.
Music.
Yeah, it wasn't. Mm-hmm. But I remember first I put it in the car and I kept driving because I didn't want to. The journey was too short, so I kept driving. I ended up going and getting tacos and coming back, just because I wanted to listen to that guy so much. Good, B, nailing it. You guys are both bringing it today. What the heck? I don't even have to mention anything. I guess I'm gonna mention. I'll put another CD that Greg will hate.
Oh boy, here we go.
Last year, Neil Young put out Peace Trail, and I just borrowed that from the library and been driving around it, and I can't take it out of the old CD player in the Prius. So
we finally hit on one. J-Dog,
yeah, do you like this one?
I like Neil Young.
Okay, good.
I don't know about this one.
I do. I've heard a couple of tracks from this one, and I like them both. I'm in on Neil Young. Might be my favorite pop star.
I think you're doing this right.
That's hilarious. Neil Young, maybe that's funny. There's a couple things I like about it. I like when he talks over music. You know, he sounds like, and now he's got some little bit of gravel after he's lived some years. It's pretty much the same reason I like that last one that Greg hated. But and I like 10 track albums. I don't like, I like it when an artist leaves you wanting more. Like I think he got to the point there's not a weak track on the album, and then it just ends and you're like, oh man, I wish there was a whole second CD. But I like it when musicians do it like that. They land the trick and then they keep skating. I like that.
That's awesome.
So Neil Young.
Yeah, I think it's 2016 though, so I don't know if it's super new, but it's newer because the one before that was the one he recorded in the little record booth, that same record booth that you and I recorded. Jesus Loves Me.
With
Zeke. Yeah, like that. It's like a telephone booth that records little singles.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
that's really cool.
I also love Neil Young.
See,
yeah,
favorite pop.
It's kind of a requirement of Seattle, right?
He's not like from here, but yeah, he's
like your dad. He's from Canada, but it's pretty much the same thing.
Yeah, Harvest Moon is one of my favorite songs, which is also
flannel. Anybody who wears flannel has to like Neil Young. That's a rule.
And even I think it was last podcast I said, "Oh, it's so sunny. It's going to be sunny forever." It's raining this morning. I'm like super gray.
We talked about like how great the weather was, and literally like that afternoon, everything went to crap.
I know.
In Texas, anyway, it got nuts.
Yeah,
we cold and rainy and nasty.
It's finally nice here in Michigan. Maybe you guys traded.
Well, if our bad weather, we get to have some nice weather for a couple of weeks, I'll take it.
I know.
I'm not sure that's how it works though. All right, my number 3 is kind of a no-brainer, but now that my wife has finally started listening to this podcast every once in a while, I want to make sure I say it out loud. Had our 18th anniversary.
Woo!
18
on Monday, so that was pretty awesome. So I joked on Facebook that our marriage is old enough to vote now. Yeah, 18 years. That's a nutty 18 years. Crazy thing. And we got to go have dinner and kind of we were talking about like what we remembered from our wedding and all that kind of stuff. And it was really fun and is really fun. And I'm excited for what comes next. But that also with my wife is transitioning jobs, which I think we talked about before, but if we didn't, she is or has now transitioned. And so it was also her last Sunday at her church, and the youth did an awesome video for her. And one of these weekends I was just loaded with a bunch of these like just super emotional weekend kind of for our family and for her in particular, and then for anniversary stuff. And so it was just a really cool weekend to admire and be proud of and thankful for my wife. So
did you cry at all?
It got a little dusty for a second or two.
Yes,
It's a win.
got him.
It's a win in the Grimace
There
column.
were no. I would say there were no actual tears, but
Choked up.
my eyes got a little bit wetter than normal.
Did your throat get a little?
Yeah, a little bit of that, a little bit of
Okay.
that, but no, like no actual tears.
No actual tears.
Craig's like at dinner, like weeping.
Let's not get
What-
carried away.
Did you guys have a first dance at your wedding, or what song did you?
No,
first
we got talking about that. We didn't have any music at our wedding.
Oh,
Did you get?
Young is like, well, that's one way to go.
well, you're talking to two people who like love
Yeah, well, we had no music and we had no
finding the
beer
right song.
because we were coming out of like evangelical traditions and we were super young, and so it was like nobody at the wedding would have been allowed to drink anyway. So we didn't have any alcohol,
Wow,
and then we just I don't know why we didn't do music, but we didn't.
What?
Yeah,
That might be the biggest surprise.
really, you know me. Why would I do music?
You're a music
If-
guy. You
if you could
I
choose
like
a
music, but I
song.
don't dance or anything.
Greg, what song would you choose now?
Probably "The Luckiest" by Ben Folds.
Oh, the best. I love that song.
That's a good tune right there.
That's my guess. Although Jason Isbell's got a new song, he's got a new album coming up. He's got a new like
Isbell?
marriage song that's really good.
I don't know that
It's called
person.
Vampires or something, but it's really good.
I'm gonna write that one down too.
You never listened
That
to
guy's
Jason Isbell?
really.
No.
Big.
He's one of
What?
the Greg sleepers. Like I
He's
put him on
amazing.
I have an Amazon Prime Music account or whatever. and
Yeah.
I have it on shuffle, and every once in a while I'll hear an amazing song. Who is this? And I always look at it, and it's Jason Isbell. Like
Hey, so
that guy's-
Bianca, start with Southeastern.
Okay. Is that an album or something?
Yeah, it's maybe the best album for me ever.
Oh, okay.
It's
There
really,
we go.
really good.
Okay, we're learning so much about Greg today.
Every song on there is fantastic.
He didn't dance to a song. That's crazy.
We didn't dance, period. It wasn't that we
Have you ever
closed
been
one
to
that
a
we
wedding?
ended
Have you
with
ever
no
sung
song. That would have been crazy.
That would have been
One
funny. A moment of silence as they do the first dance,
As we dance.
as they dance together for the first time.
I wanted to save all my energy for sex, man. That was staying focused.
PG-13, guys. PG-13.
Okay, let me move on.
I knew that would get off this topic.
So I went home for Memorial Day just for a night to Bainbridge, and so we were trying to find a good show to watch with my parents.
Oh no.
And you know,
That's always a fun one.
I know. And
We all probably have stories just like this. Just
Yeah.
I want to hear.
yeah, so I was steering away from some of them, but then there's a new show which I hadn't watched, so I was like, oh no, and they hadn't watched it. And then I said, well, what channel's it on? And they said ABC. So I was like, I think we're okay. And so we watched Downward Dog, this like kind of cheesy new show. It only has 3 episodes right now, but it's really funny and it's really
That's a
good.
talking dog in it, right?
It's a talking dog, but it's so much more than that. It's so much more than that. It's a
get
weird
it.
conceit, but
Yeah.
it
You'll
actually,
forgive me if I can't get past the talking dog.
I know, but it's actually like, I don't know. I like the story and I like the dog, although his voice is he's trying to do a Mike Birbiglia and it's like kind of annoying. Sorry, I just busted that whole thing, but like, if you watch it, you'll be like, what is this
I'm gonna
voice?
try it.
But
I'm gonna try it. That's how much.
it's actually really good. And specifically episode 2 is really good. Somehow they get into like God and being like subject to an authority, and you think, oh, he's saying it in a dog perspective, but you kind of get it. Like you get where they're going with this. Like their owner is like the end all be all. It's so good. And it's about boundaries and like needing like boundaries in your life or you'll go crazy. And so it's a little theological. The other episodes are not so much, but episode 2, check it out. Downward Dog. It was so cute. And we like still talk about it. Like we're like texting each other these funny quotes from the TV show. And so I don't normally watch ABC shows, as this whole podcast would, prove me right. But this one is actually pretty cute. So Downward Dog, episode 2. The dog's cute. And I like
There's a really high chance I'm not gonna watch that show.
That's okay. It's not for you then. It's for
I'm gonna
people.
be busy listening to.
Good thing you're not choosing today.
Yeah, I'm gonna be busy throwing away music that Jason recommends.
I'm so glad YouTube exists. I don't go buy the CDs Jason recommends.
Or the library.
Oh, yeah. You're coming. Okay. Fourth. Dude, this is when it gets hard. This is third. I got to do third and fourth. Because I'm the last guy, right? And then I'll pick a bunch of yours. How about that? Okay. How about I do two that you can't even, nobody will say anything to. One of them is Ken Udy, this amazing man of God, is running for city council in San Marino. And I woke up today and I just saw that he's doing it. He posted on Facebook, and it's just men of God, like just people of God, like people that wake up and do the right thing just because it has to get done. I love people like that. And I hope that this guy wins city council on a chair on city council in San Marino. I know this podcast probably has nothing that, like, Ken will never hear this. No one related to Ken will ever hear this. But he was just this, he's just an anchor member of the church I used to serve in, just a really good guy. And it gives me hope that there's somebody that loves God, loves people, knows how to do stuff and get stuff done, going and working in politics and government.
You're not nervous that politics will ruin him?
I'm not, just because he's that kind of guy. Because he's just that kind of guy. Okay, I think
you've talked about him before. That's cool.
He'll like, it's like that joke when Chuck Norris jumps into a pool. He doesn't get wet. The pool gets Chuck Norris.
Yes.
But that Ken, like, I think the politics will be Ken Udy. Anyway, and then my other one was in Indianapolis 500. The first Japanese guy won, Takuma Sato. And everybody says, have you ever watched Indianapolis 500?
Not for very long.
My family watches. Yeah, well, we're from Indianapolis. I mean, like, we have family there, and that's where I was born.
I literally know two people.
Yeah, we watch.
Your family and the Webbers, remember?
But we didn't watch this.
Yeah, the Webbers watch.
Richard Weber's dad, you would always watch, too.
Yeah.
But they say it's like the most watched thing. How is that true?
Because there's a lot of people in the Midwest.
No, it's not.
That's just crazy. There's no way that's true.
Internationally, maybe, but no way. There's no way that's true.
But anyway, Takuma Sato, well done.
That's cool.
Got his name out. Maybe we'll get the sponsorship from a car. Or maybe we'll get free cars out of this.
Maybe we'll get free cars out of this.
But that is cool that, I don't know.
Yeah, very cool.
If you were pitching Downward Dog to a channel.
Yeah.
How,
all right,
how
great actors.
Like, how do you even
story?
Like, how do you get to a spot where they're like, oh, you know what? I would watch that. Like, I don't know how it, like, how do you?
I know. This is why I hadn't made any effort to go and see it. But then I gave it a chance because I'm a risk taker, and I enjoyed it.
The paint is done drying. We might as well watch Downward Dog.
Well.
Okay.
I'm just amazed that they were able to or are able to make it. That's what's astonishing.
Yeah, it's funny because
the first pretty good.
The first thought that went through my head when I saw the commercial for that thing was Bianca's voice saying, how did that get through a board meeting? You know,
that's exactly right.
How did that get through? How did somebody not catch? Oh, wait, we're making a show about a talking cartoon dog.
It's not about a talking dog. There's a talking dog in it.
I was 30 seconds into the trailer for that show before I realized it wasn't a yogurt commercial.
That's a nightmare there. Okay, let me get us the list. We gotta get Bianca out the door. She needs to get to it. But let me start with number one.
Yeah.
And these are in order. These are in order.
All right, in order.
And my number, I'm going to start with the number one. And that's the work. Like, we get paid to love people and love God. That's ridiculous. I think that's just that should, I'm grateful for that.
It's every week, but once in a while we need to say it out loud, right?
Yeah, and every week it should be. It's probably at the top. It's an unsaid at the top of every week. I'd agree. That's and thanks for putting the spotlight on it, Greg. That's awesome. Two, last middle school night. I brought me back to my last middle school nights, like leading in, just like being a part of cool youth groups. 3, Majorans, the Devo. You know, old friends. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's right in your wheelhouse.
I know you chose these just for reason.
No. It also brought to mind Becca Arrow, your
Aerosmith.
buddy.
Yeah.
Aerosmith, yeah, Becca
Yeah.
Aerosmith. I noticed that on Instagram, she took a picture of Ryan Church at the last inn or whatever like that. That looked so cool. That was a cool photo, and then I was like, man, I just brought to mind you and her, and just that friendship, old friends. There's something mystical and awesome about it. I love it. And then 4, anniversary. Sorry, you gotta give anniversary. You gotta celebrate love. You gotta put love on a pedestal.
You got to do it.
And then I can't believe it. I don't think I'm not gonna make the list because my 5th one is somebody we should have mentioned a long time ago because he's songs. It's Michael Kiwanuka. I don't even know how to say it, but I love it. Just I'm gonna be listening to him the rest of the day.
This is the episode where Jason just says a bunch of weird names.
Yeah.
Kiwanuka. I spelled it and everything.
No, it's not Sufjan Stevens. It's Suyasi. I love it. That's my favorite. When people correct me because of that crap. Anyway, this is This Week in Gratitude with Bianca, Greg, and Jason. Subscribe, recommend, post us on your Facebook wall. Hopefully you'll get to hear from us again, and we're grateful that you actually listen. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you guys. See you next week.
Okay.